Hi to Lee and the Sweet Life. This is a place where you can learn how to cook, make mistakes and be okay with that, and maybe make some friends on the way. Please subscribe and ring that bell and check out my website at leeandthesweetlife.com.
Good morning, it's Lee from Lee and the Sweet Life. I'm here in Stanhope at my cake cafe, and actually I just thought this is probably going to be the last video I'm going to have from here, which is really interesting because I've sold it. So I'm going on to do these for leeandthesweetlife.com. So check this out because I make some wonderful, I'm a guest blogger on people's website, and I make some wonderful recipes with their fantastic products, which is what I'm doing today actually, but with this Lakeland spice fruit rum here. Oh my god, liqueur. I've made loads of things with this, so check on their website at Lakeland Artisan. But I want to make some mince pies, but I want to make them special. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to make the pastry and the filling, and then I'm going to come back to that because if you've ever watched any of these before, you'll know that I tend to just keep pushing and the button and stopping and starting and putting the videos all together at the end, because it's no bells and whistles. It's about real people doing real cooking and even making mistakes and putting them right. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to post the recipe for this, for the pastry, at the end of this video. This pastry is the most awesome pastry in the world, honestly, and it's foolproof. I've used it for years and it is delightful. So it's so easy. Again, you don't need to write this down. I'm going to post it. So in this I have got 350 grams of plain flour, and then 100 grams of caster sugar to make it up to 450 grams. Okay, I have got a whole pack. It's not the least calorific of pastries, this, I'm afraid, but if you want to make treats for people, and Christmas time should be a treat, I think, then this is the pastry to use. So it's 250 grams of butter, everyday essentials butter. Don't use anything. I use salted butter because I tend to like salted butter, but it's entirely up to you. I have got one jar which is 822 grams of, I think it's the pantry classic mincemeat. I'm going to put that over there because I won't need that till later. I have got 2 oranges. I'm only going to use the zest because remember, I'm going to zhuzh up this. Even though this mincemeat is awesome, I just want to give it a little bit extra. And in this giant jug, I poured out 50 mils of the Lakeland spiced fruit rum liqueur. Okay, again, go to Lakeland Artisan. I know I shouldn't be advertising this, but it's just fabulous. So what I'm going to do is pour that into there because I don't want this mincemeat to be too sloppy. And then I'm going to grate all the zest of the 2 oranges into here. If you haven't got one of these, this is just a great, it's not any sort of like really expensive microplane or anything like that. It's just a cheap thing I got from, I think probably from Lidl or Aldi. That tends to be all my go-to things, Lidl or Aldi. I think they're fabulous. Again, sponsorship, love it. Not that I have it, but it wouldn't be wonderful if I had. Again, thanks for watching all of these videos. Please subscribe and share with your friends. leeandthesweetlife.com is the website. I'm just going to do that. Don't go right through to the white stuff. Just take off as much of that, the orange juicy stuff, as you can, because the white stuff is a bit bitter. And if you go to our website, leeandthesweetlife.com, you can join with the Foodie Book Club. So what happens is once a month I read a book that has food in the title. Did you know how many are out there? I had no idea. And then I very badly review it because I just write about what I like. That's what happens when you get to my age. And then I make a recipe, develop a recipe that's based very loosely on the ingredient in the title. And I think the one up there we've got is lemon pie, but actually it's in the title that I've got by Urquhart. I'm going to have to come back to you. I'll add that to the end. My memory's bad. But actually I've made a key lime slice with that, so please check that out. And then I'll be posting the next book on that and to read for the next month, and then you can read along and comment if I ever get the website sorted out properly. Anyway, so there are the 2 oranges, just the zest, and I'm just going to mix that in. And I want to do this now before I make the pastry so that it has a chance to soak in and be so unctuous. You see that? Oh, oh my lovely. Not only have you got the spices of this, the mincemeat, but you've got the spices of this too. So, and if you're adverse to a bit of alcohol, don't worry, because alcohol cooks off in the cooking process, so you'll just be left with the flavours. Although try this with, look at their recipes online for the hot drinks, it's wonderful. So, anyway, I'm going to scrape all that because I've got some orange zest on there and I want that to be taken off. Waste not. It's all about flavour. Give that another stir. Right. And I'm going to set that aside, like I said, and I'm going to turn the video off, turn it back on when I get over to the mixer, because I want to show you how to make the pastry. Okay, so I've just put all of the flour and sugar into this food processor, food blender, whatever, what is it? I don't know, somebody will tell me. And make sure the lid's on. What I'm going to do is add the butter a little bit at a time. I'm going to show you first, because it's so noisy, and then I'm going to stop it and just come back to it when it's all combined. So I'm going to switch this on. So, oh, maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a good idea to show you without the little gadget at the top. But anyway, you know. Oh dear. So I'm just adding little bits just to give it a fighting chance to combine. Can you see this burn here? Wow, that was a burn I did about 3 weeks ago on the oven, and it looks terrible. It's actually heating now. It's a big scab. It doesn't look very pretty now, and people keep looking at it when I meet with them and probably not saying anything, and so I'm not sure what they think. Anyway, I digress. Putting all of that in. Okay, so I'm going to just let that go until it combines, and then I shall come back. Stage 2 of this. I've switched this machine up because I want to show you what it looks like, so I'll just start again. Okay. So that's what it looks like for the next stage. I'm going to take this off so I can show you how to test this. No water or anything in this just yet. And can you see I'm not going to put any water in. Can you see that? It's absolutely amazing. So that's just the butter, or the sugar and the flour. How rich is that? So let's get that over here and set this up again. Here I am. This is the pastry, and it's still in the pot. I'm going to just put a little, oh there it is. I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar. I think this is the, you do that to see if you can, so it's not just about my breasts. Gosh. If you were looking for something professional, hey, go to a different channel. This is just my ramblings. Anyway, here we go. So I think this is still little. I shop at little Aldi, that's if I can. So I'm putting icing sugar. Here's the tip, if you've seen me do sweet icing before. Don't roll your sweet icing out with flour. It will just soak up too much moisture. And also, this is the benefit if you make a sweet pastry, it keeps it sweet. So let's get all of that out and pop that over there to wash later. If you can see over there, you'll probably just see a pile of stuff happening. All I'm going to do is bring that together. And then just set that aside until I get everything else ready. If you want to, if it's warm weather, wrap that in cling film or some other wonderful thing. Pop it in the fridge for 20 minutes. But because it's so cold, winter, I'm just going to let it sit aside until I've finished. But oh my lord, I can smell all that. So I'm just going to pop that over here so you can't see that, but it's still there. And then I'm going to go on to the next thing. Let's see what we have. So I have got, I just had to stop the video because I had to go and get one of these because I wasn't prepared. So anyway, I'm just going to waste not, want not, scrape all that icing sugar and bits of pastry and put that aside because I'm going to use that again. So let's bring back into the picture things we have. I've got a giant tray. But it doesn't matter if it's a giant tray. I just happen to have a giant tray because I'm still at the cake cafe. But as long as it's lined with something, you don't have to line it because we're going to put little things on it. But I tend to overfill my mince pies because I like the whole oozing out look. Homemade. I like the homemade look. I think people appreciate that so they tend to overflow. I've got these little things, which are they mince pie cases? Are they cookie cases? Are they, what? This is driving me crazy, guys. Please, if anybody's got another idea, this is still a piece of wire. Oh my god. So anyway, I have no idea how much this pastry is going to take up, because right now I have no idea how thick I'm going to cut it. I think I'm going to cut it on the over thick side. So, and remember, you need 2 pieces. You need a top and a bottom. So I'm just going to put some of those out, and I might take some of them off when if I don't use them. So I'm just preparing that like that. Is anybody else ready for Christmas? Because I'm so not. Right now, my lovely son is in Malaysia with his girlfriend, heading some. Actually, I think he's probably still flying there with the lovely Lizzie, getting some sun before Christmas. My lovely daughter has just started a new job in Leeds, so she's into the horrible weather. But I'm so lucky because it's my year to have everybody this Christmas, and my whole family knows that the biggest Christmas present for me is for them to let me cook everything on Christmas Day. So I'm so excited. So I put all of those there, and I'm just going to pop those aside. I just wanted to show you what. And if I was organised, I would have had these 2 out, but no, I'm not. And I'm going to get a cutter out, and I'm going to show you the size of the cutter, depending on the size of your container foil. I want my shape to be, let me see, slightly bigger for that of the container. Yeah, close up. Let me see. Just slightly bigger, so it sort of fits over, because when I put the first piece, the bottom on there, it's going to dip, which means it's going to use extra. And then when I put the top piece on there, I'm going to put it on top of a mound of the mince meat, so it's going to need extra to go over the top. So that's the perfect size. Put those over. You don't want to see what's behind the phone. There's a worktop there, and it's just full of everything. Right, here comes the fun bit. So more icing sugar. I had some in there, didn't I? So I'm going to use that. Spread that around. Grab your favourite rolling pin and your pastry, and I'm going to make this, cut this, just pull this pastry apart, because I want, because this is all butter, you don't want to really handle it that much. It is because butter will melt. So even though you can, all the bits that are left after cutting, you can bring them back together, I only want to do that a few times, which is why I sort of break it in half and use pieces to roll out, rather than a whole bunch. So I'm just going to liberally coat that with icing sugar and start to roll. Oh. Can you see it sort of split there? It doesn't matter too much for me, but I'm going to show you just to see what we can put right with that, because you can squidge it together once you pop it into the container. But let's make it better now. I've taken some of the icing sugar off because, like I say, it's cold in here, so I don't think it's going to stick too much. There you go. A bit more on there. Keep scraping down your rolling pin, because it's what makes it stick for me are the little bits stick to the rolling pin, which then stick to the pastry, which then tears the pastry more. So there you go. So I'm going to show you that, and I'll show you how thick I've got them. I'm going to do that bit thin actually. Haven't felt that. I could get a tape measure out and measure them. Not gonna. So let's just cut some. And actually, if I want to make, let's get a new spatula here. If I want to make enough for the family, I'm probably going to have to make 2 lots of this pastry. But there's the thickness of the pastry. You see that? So when I put them here, I'm going to put them in 2s. And you've already guessed it, so that I know how many mince pies they make. Let's see if I can get another one out of that there. See, it sticks to the rolling pin. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring that together again. And just keep doing that. Will you help if I make the table? Gosh, will somebody just come and help me be professional with this? Oh, it's like baking at home, which I guess is what it's all about. I truly believe that anybody can bake or cook. But just don't be scared of it, and just have some fun. What's the worst thing that can go wrong? Apart from food poisoning. Don't send me in that answer, food poisoning. No, obviously we adhere to all health and hygiene. There we go. Let's put that aside. And cut some more. Again, I'm going to put it in twos, so I know how many I have made. Gosh, as I'm cutting this, it's really incredible. I can smell the orange, and I can smell the spices, not only from the mincemeat, but from the spiced rum. It is incredible. It's amazing what you can do to zhuzh up anything to make it more special. Even if you make things all year round, the same recipe, at Christmas time or birthdays or whenever you want to have something special, you just think about other ways of making it special. It's such an easy thing to do. And these mince pies are awesome when you freeze them. So if you want to plan ahead, make lots. And then once you've cooked them, I always freeze mine at home for once I've cooked them. That's how I do it, but it's entirely up to you. But once you've cooked them, put them into sealed bags of, I normally put mine in sealed bags of 4, but you can put them in 2s, 4, 6, 8, whatever you like. And then you can bring individual ones out. If you have guests, somebody rings up like an hour beforehand, oh, I'm on my way, and you know they like mince pies, bring a couple out, bring them to room temperature, pop them in the oven if you want them warm. See, that's a bit broken. I'm just going to give that a squidge together. So that's one half of that. Going to go on the next half. Yeah, bring them to room temperature, and you can re-warm them in the oven. Just put the whole thing, including the base, the foil base, on a baking tray. Move those out of there, and just warm them up all the way through. Perfect. And of course, gift them. That is always, people always love a gift. I think handmade gifts are, for me, the most welcome. I'm a really terrible person to buy for, because I much rather give things than receive. And as you probably know by now, I'm a bit of a foodie, so giving food gifts is one of my favourite things. And if you are some of my wonderful friends out there, please make sure that I'm not lying, because see, that's in half again. That's just too much in half, so I'm going to redo that one. But I do tend to like to give foodie gifts. I'm a feeder. And these are perfect. Bringing all that together, these are absolutely perfect food gifts. And how about, as a food gift, making up a foodie gift hamper? So some mince pies, maybe make some jams, or just buy individual things from Aldi, Lidl, or Sainsbury's or Tesco. Honestly, I'm not getting money from these people. I wish. Gosh, it's just that I am actually a huge big shopper in those Lidl and Aldi. So oh, wouldn't it be fantastic if I could have Lidl and Aldi giving me things for free? Wow, that'd be nice. KitchenAid. Oh, I would be in seventh heaven. I'd never have anybody away from the door. I'm almost coming up to the end of this pastry now. So it has been like watching paint dry. I think I might get another 4 out of this. Maybe 3, because I need them in even numbers, don't I? So let's just try that. I'm just reaching over there, I've got a little bit of icing on the table. I just don't want to waste it. So if I feel it getting a bit sticky, I'm just putting a bit more icing on it. Oh, there's such a a little bit left. I can't bear to waste it. Can I get, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's good. That's a dozen, an even dozen out of it so far. So one batch has made me 12. So it's going to make me 12. It's probably going to make you 12, depending on the size of your cutter, obviously. So maybe I can just get 2 more top and bottom out of this. Let's see. Oh. Do you think this is going to make one? Oh, I hope so. Maybe if I just don't just get it in spice and sugar. Maybe I just don't roll it, maybe I just hit it. Oh my goodness. It's not gonna be round. It's gonna be artisan shape. Okay. So these, see, I've got 13 here. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna move all of those things out there, have a little drinky poos. I say that like I'm drinking alcohol. I'm actually just drinking fizzy drink, but okay. Then I'm gonna bring this back in and get rid of all but 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so maybe I need a smaller tray. I'm so used to cooking, making these for the cake cafe and friends, making them in batches, and for restaurants and things like that. I'm so used to filling the whole tray with them. So I'm going to put that on there. Let's fold that so that it fits. Get rid of the big tray. Oh gosh, it's planning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, and then you put that back under there. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to keep that artisan on for the top. So I'm literally just going to pop those. Just gently put them in. Don't push them down too hard. Just sort of like pat them gently. I have no idea what that is called. Squidge. I keep making up these new words, but I'm not looking for them to stick to the bottom. I'm just looking for them to take the shape of the bottom. So this is why they're in twos. And if it splits a little bit there, just squidge it together because it's butter, so it's quite moldable. More. Oops. Try and get them in the middle, unlike that one. Okay, so all that, I can see bits of orange zest in us. Divide. Just going to scrape that off the way so I don't have too much underneath my tray when I put them in the oven. Get that out of the way. Putting those out. So bringing back the mixture of the mincemeat, the spiced rum, and orange zest. And like I say, I like a lot in these. I'm not sure how much this is going to make either. So what might happen is after I've made this video, I might make another batch of, depending on how much you use, another batch of pastry, just so I don't waste any. So I'm using a scoop just because it's less khaki, it's easier, and can you see I'm sort of putting quite a big scoop on there. Again, it's entirely up to you if you like a lot, if you like a little. I like mine to sort of ooze out, so they don't look that professional, but they taste great, and I like my things to look as if I made them, because what's the point? I may as well go to a supermarket and buy perfect ones that have been on the shelf forever. I went to a supermarket the other day, and I was paying at the till for something. It wasn't I'm not going to mention it. Oh no, this might actually just do 13. I might have to take a little bit out of the others. And there was on the till, next to the till, there was a cupcake. And I swear to God, in one of those plastic things, wraps, and it had a date of the 2nd of January. Now I'm making this video on the 25th of November. Tell me how that's nice. Okay, so I haven't got it, I'll put a little bit too much in this. I'm just going to grab a spoon. First of all, I'm going to scrape it all out. Let me see. Yeah. In fact, I might just have enough. So I've got a couple here which I know are going to be too full, so I am just going to take a little bit out. Remember, it was meant for 12, and we have an extra one, so which is why there's not enough, because I can't bear to replace the pastry. Okay, there we go. Now here we go. I'm going to pop that on the top. You see that's the Artisan one, and very gently place it on the top, and just with your fingers or with a fork. I am going to use a fork if I can. Just seal the edges. I'm not going to use a fork because, hey, you know what, fingers are always the best. Just keep doing that. So place it on the top and just go around and push the edges down onto the bottom of the pastry. Can you see why I cut the pastry, used a slightly bigger pastry cutter? Because the bottom needs to come up on the pastry and the top needs to go down on the pastry. And even though I want it to sort of squirt out a little bit, I want people to taste the pastry, because it's all about the special pastry for this and the special mince pies. But this pastry is special Christmas pastry. Do you know if you wanted to put lemon zest in there or lime zest in your pastry, you could. I have never tried it. I've tried it with lemon. I've done it with lemon. I have never done it with lime. I'm just gonna. That's already squirting out, so I'm just gonna take it off. This is why the paper underneath for me. I'm not sure. I should give it a try with lime. I'm not sure what I would use for the middle. I don't think I'd use lime zest for mince pies. I'd have to think carefully. This, like I said, this pastry, and the recipe will be at the end, is perfect for open pies, anything. And it freezes really well. So if you make, again, plan ahead, if you're making the pastry and you just want to, and you make too much, don't waste it, don't waste it. Make an Artisan lid like that one, or wrap it up a couple of times so it doesn't get freezer burn. Pop it into your freezer and take it out. If you make a batch, for instance, a new batch of pastry, and you know you've got odds and ends of the older pastry, take the older pastry out and add it to your new pastry when you're rolling it up. Okay? Do not waste anything. We've all got freezers, and I don't think, I know I don't use my freezer as much as I should for pre-making things. Now I'm gonna get a fork and just poke it all the way through, let some air in there. Okay, something else I forgot to get. 1 egg, because we need to glaze this. So just give that egg a little bit of a beat. Very noisy. I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to stop making all of these things at home, because right now everything is around here, so even if I forget to get something, it's not too far away. In my kitchen at home, which I love, and it's got a great island, and the lovely Mr. G has made it so I can do wonderful things in there. I have to really think about where things are, because it's not just me using that kitchen. And I'm also not the boss in that kitchen, sometimes Mr. G is. So I've just put some egg wash on there. Now I'm going to pop these into a heated oven, 180 centigrade heated oven. Oven temperatures may vary. And I'm going to start off with looking at them after 20 minutes, and then after that I shall keep looking after them, looking into them every 2 or 3 minutes. And I may even turn the tray around. So if you've got ovens at home that have hot spots, and some of them do that. They're going to be a little bit golden brown. Don't get freaked out if they sort of squirt out at the ends and the insides, because that's the bit I like. Because, like I said before, I keep repeating myself, stop it. If I wanted something that looked like it was bought from a supermarket, I would buy them from a supermarket. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and I'll come back to you when they're all out and you can see what happens. Okay, so here they are out of the oven, the mince pies. Actually, I'm eating a little bit, so I probably shouldn't. And actually they took, I put them in for the first 20 minutes, 180 centigrade, depending on your oven. And then the buzz went off, and I put them in for another 7 minutes, and this is what they look like. Don't they look just awesome? And they look as if you made them. They're not store-bought, which I love. And I'm just going to make them look pretty now by adding a little bit of icing sugar in a sieve, if you have it. If not, don't worry about it. I just think it looks so nice, though. Very Christmassy. Give them a little bit of a shake. Remember, I'm going to be posting this recipe at the end of this video. Please subscribe, please like, please share with your friends, and please look at leeandthesweetlife.com. Join our Foodie Book Club, and let other people join too. Let me just put them on here so you can see. This is why I have them too big, because I love the pastry, and you will too. This is why I use the big cutter. Oh my lord, that is the most amazing thing. Oh my goodness, that tastes so good. Now this is the Artisan one. Do you remember the one that I used the last of the pastry for? I'm just gonna nibble that. Oh, thank you. It looks exactly the same as the other ones. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and do all of that wonderful stuff. See you next time. Let's talk recipe. Let's see if I can keep this in shot, because every time I try and read it, my phone goes all over the place. So this is the pastry ingredients. So you need 350 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of caster sugar. So obviously that makes up 450 grams. 250 grams of butter. I always use salted butter. You don't need to go into the whole expensive stuff. You can get the stuff from Lidl and Aldi, and it's absolutely brilliant. Icing sugar to roll out and dust. An egg for the egg wash to make the wonderful golden brown. And then for the inside, I used 822 grams of mincemeat. Again, I think I got that from Lidl. It's entirely up to you what sort of mincemeat, if you want to make your own. And then I used the rinds of 2 oranges and 50 mils of Lakeland Artisan fruit spiced rum to add to that. Okay, so that's the stuff you need to use. Thanks for watching. Look out for the next one, and I keep plugging this, so please look at our Foodie Book Club at leeandthesweetlife.com. Bye.